Last May, at the height of the coronavirus pandemic, I was quarantined here in Germany. And like many of you, I was faced with a lot of deeply challenging emotions. But perhaps what made my situation somewhat unique is the fact that I was quarantined away from home. I come from the Philippines. And while some countries have handled this pandemic with great success, my country is not one of them. To give you an idea, over 20% of the population was living beneath the poverty line before the pandemic. But when Corona hit, lives and futures were just crushed. Imagine having no savings, no income, no social support, no option to beg, nobody to borrow money from, 4 mouths to feed, and just a big blank question mark as to when this will all be over. So there I was, sitting in an apartment in Germany, my surroundings all fairly in place, but my internal alarms just going off. Each time I touched my phone, I was overwhelmed with photos of good, honest, hardworking people who were faced with impossible situations and starting to lose hope. And so, after a lot of panicking and even more crying, I decided to do something about it. At ESCP Business School, we speak a lot about harnessing the power of business to solve global issues. I thought to myself, now is the time to try. So the left side of my brain, the business-oriented side, started working. I knew what I wanted to achieve, but how was the question. At the same time, the right side of my brain was helping me to cope with all the negative emotions. And I did that by painting. I've been an artist all my life, and during the pandemic, I found myself painting images of the coronavirus molecule, but with an eye in the middle. I painted this image over and over again, and I called them Corona Eyes. They were my way of pushing myself to see the pandemic from a different perspective. So one morning, I sat down in my usual spot, and I started painting, thinking to myself, come on, Joe, come up with a business idea. What are your resources? What are your assets? And then it hit me. My assets are staring at me right in my face. I mean, they even have eyes. And so I knew I was going to sell my artworks, but I didn't yet know how. I knew I needed something simple, inexpensive, and relevant. And with the help of my mentors, I came to the idea of postcards. Now, I didn't want to just sell postcards. I wanted to send them. I wanted to enable people who were feeling the same way that I was, homesick, anxious, and afraid, and give them a way to reach out. And so, the idea of Send to Give was born. Send to Give is a social impact venture that allows you to mail a physical postcard through the convenience of your smartphone. All postcards are designed by me, and all profits go to helping those in need. We started with feeding programs for the homeless in one major city in the Philippines called Las Piñas. Then, we branched out to provide local farmers with grocery packs and farming supplies in 3 different provinces. Last September, we chose our very first Send to Give scholar, a 12-year-old boy named Ken, who started school on October 5. All of this has been made possible through the simple, meaningful act of people sending their loved ones postcards. From Chile to Slovenia to Russia to India, Send to Give postcards have been sent to 18 different countries. And in 7 different beautiful languages, the universal human value of kindness shines through. In short messages of strength, support, and humor, we're reminded that indeed we will make it through this difficult time. As I speak here before you today, I myself am amazed at how far this initiative has come. Send to Give has taught me that we all have the power to affect positive change. Sometimes, the negatives in the world can truly be overwhelming. And you may think that your acts of kindness would be just a drop in the ocean. But what I've learned is that it's not a drop in the ocean to the people who receive your help. It's so much more. It's a free, warm meal after days of starvation. It's the light on a lonely face when they see a postcard in their mailbox. It's the dream of a young boy who wants to be a civil engineer and now actually has a chance. It's hope. When you send acts of kindness out into the world, you give hope. And when people have hope, there's no future they cannot face. Tomorrow may still be a question mark, and indeed, we do have to rethink our future. But having said that, I urge each and every one of you to act towards that future that you want to see. Act towards it today. We live in a time of great adversity, but also great possibility. Imagine, my home is more than 6,000 miles away, and yet I was able to help. And I was able to do it immediately. I was able to meet new friends, forge new partnerships, and mobilize teams in various locations during a quarantine. Focus on the technology and the stronger sense of purpose that our generation has been armed with, and apply your passions towards it. Act towards the future that you want to see, and act towards it today. Thoughts are the beginning, but actions are what will help us make it to the end. In case you don't know where to start, you can start with kindness. Start with something small, a smile, encouraging words, or maybe even sending a postcard. Your acts of kindness can change someone's world. And that is an idea that's not just worth spreading, it's worth living. Thank you.